Hello readings. Today's reading starts with the one of fire, and this talks about something that's going to come about very suddenly. Now this is going to have different layers to it. There's going to be the first layer, which is something very big and powerful that's almost in our face. But then off of that there's going to come a few smaller things. And although the big thing that's come in is the most important, the card is telling us not to forget the smaller things as well. Then we have the elemental of air. And that's coming in and a similar message saying that all the small things that have come up of this bigger thing are there for a reason. We all have their part to play, and it might be a case for some people that we have to look at the small things first and build up to the bigger thing. Whatever the situation is, it's not something we can skirt around and ignore. It's something that needs to be dealt with and that we need to deal with head on. Then we go to the Book of Shadows. This is telling us that even though there isn't anywhere we can look to find out about this event that we're facing, there's no prior knowledge to how to deal with it or what we should do to get the best outcome, it doesn't mean that we can't use past experiences when facing this. It just won't give us all the answers. But we shouldn't let that fear of the unknown stop us. Although this can be quite daunting, there's a lot we can get out of this event. Then we have the Three of Air. And that's explaining that there might be times where we feel like we aren't able to make a move with this event. That we're kind of just stuck with it happening around us without really being able to affect it. And what the card is telling us that even if we can't act at the time, our actions that we have taken will be working in our favour. We need to wait and keep watch so that when we do have the opportunity to act, we know how we want to act. Then we have the Seven of Fire, which tells us we need to approach this with wisdom, not acting rashly. It will do us no good to go in feeling that we have to throw our weight round. This isn't something that will react to that. It's asking us to take a calm approach, standing firm instead of trying to push things back. Whatever this event is, it's very powerful. So trying to stop it or push it aside isn't going to work. Instead we need to just stand our ground. Then we have the Eight of Earth. And this is saying once we've got a little bit of control over this event and we know kind of where it's going, we can start building on it. We can work to put things in place where we want them and start looking at where we want to go. This event, even as it comes to an end, will kind of take its own direction. But we still have the power to make our own decision in what direction we want to go. We do this by observing the event and deciding what action to take around it. Then we have the Maiden of Air. This is kind of coming in at the end of the event, where I feel there's going to be almost like this stillness as almost the dust settles. And what she is saying is, as the dust settles, that is when we have the most power to make the most changes. We need to look around at what we have and use what we have to work on moving forward. She talks about keeping hope for something better, and even though there's not much around us, we have to work to find stuff or work to build stuff. It does us no good just to mourn and wait. Then we have the Mayborn card, and this follows on from the last card, talking about the transition between being in that situation where the dust is just settling, there's not really much around, to a time where we start seeing what we've built and what we put into the ground coming up. And it's kind of coming in at the end just to say that all this will be worth it, it's going to lead to better things. So this reading really comes in with a kind of a feeling of almost like an explosion at the start. But that explosion clears the way for us to build on. So best of luck and bright blessings from all us here at Through the Third Eye.